What's up, everybody? Welcome to another edition of Zach's Live Trader. Here with you as always, I am the People's Champ of Wall Street, the bearded boy wonder, Dave Bartosiak. And today, my friends, we're talking about Best Buy, ticker BBY. So, retail, my friends. Retail. Now, it's been a tough gig guessing some of these retail names because you had some real problems in some of the retailers over the last few quarters, and then a little bit of sunshine in a few of these names. But who's been the winners and who are the losers has been kind of tough, relatively tough. I think the losers have really been, the places that are out there trying to compete with Amazon and failing by just dropping their prices and offering a bunch of stuff. Sears, JCPenney. Well, I guess JCPenney doesn't offer too much stuff, but you know what I mean. Cheap commodities that you can get anywhere and you don't really care. And if you can just get that online and not have to leave your house, and it shows up at your door in a couple days, then it's all good. Kurt, Hefe, B-Boy, how you guys doing? All right, so let's go ahead and kick this off like we always do. Where's my... Here it is. Price consensus and EPS surprise chart here on Zax.com. We might be able to learn a little something for this. Now, what are we going to learn? Well, the black line corresponds to the right y-axis, which is price. The green arrows are earnings beats. The red arrow, that's all over here, it's the last time Best Buy missed. So you're talking 2012 was the last time Best Buy missed. So that's pretty good. The multicolored lines represent the evolution of our Zax consensus estimates and correspond to the left y-axis. Tracy, how you doing? All right, so what can we glean here from Best Buy? First, again, just another selling point for the Zax. Another selling point for the Zax price consensus and EPS surprise chart here. Look at how when you have this negative shock to the downside, price follows it right down. And then it also becomes a nice stabilizing force. These are these year-over-year earnings estimates. They help to stabilize the stock and to pull it higher, okay? So since really... let's say late 2015, early 2016, things have turned around at Best Buy. Everything's moving in the positive direction. Now, here's something that should concern you a little bit, and that's this sort of little intra dip here, right? You have those 2018 estimates being up here and then getting scaled back a little bit and then starting to tick up again. I don't necessarily like that. I do like the growth here year over year, but I think this was more of a recovery story than a continued growth story, and the market's telling us that as well with the choppy behavior that we've been seeing in the price action. So there's a little bit of back and forth over the course of the last several months here. So that's something to take note of, and we're going to see that better represented in our stock chart. So I'm just going to skip right there to the stock chart because that's what I got going on here. All right. So let's go. I'm going to zoom out a little bit just to show you the 200-day in Thug Pink, right? Stock breaks out from that level. And I'm not so concerned with this move here. I want you to have it in the back of your head. But this isn't going to determine exactly what we do here. But think about this and the move that we've had. Mr. Wallace, Mike, how you guys doing? Emra. Frunged to you too. Frunged Jed, everybody. Frunged Jed. Sorry, I had to get. I know you're trying to say something much more productive there. All right. So I want to pull up a quick little fib here from these June lows to the recent highs. Yes, that's an awful large fib, but looky here. If you've got your volume at price indicator, you'll note that this 23.6 is also where sort of recent volume point of control is here in the market. And you've got the 50-day starting to get into this 200-day. 200-day provided a little bit of support here in mid-September also. So there was some buying there. And we're starting to get the situation where we're getting a contraction in the two of these. Getting awful close over here. Hey, look at that. All right. Doing good. I'm not Sir. My dad's name was Sir. I'm just Dave. I'm just Dave. What's up, Kyle? How you doing? So now I want to focus more on this. So first, there's a lot of action going on here at 55s, okay? So it's going to take some serious force to push this thing lower. And if it does get lower, the 38.2, right about 50, I think is the next spot. Obviously, you have the swing low here. So put that into your sights as well. Hey, Dave, how you doing? Dave, we got to talk about the Chevy ZR1 a little bit later. All right, so we got this swing low at 51.61. So these are the levels. We'll get back into JD. At the end, before we leave, I'm going to talk JD. So you guys got to remind me at the end. All right, so there we go. So keep these levels in your mind. 51.61. The 200-day down at 53.35. You've got the 38.2 much lower here. And we're right about this volume point of control, right around 55. So that's what we got going on. And then the highs, 63.32. So you got to watch out there. You could also draw if you're looking for areas of resistance to the upside. Oh man, you gotta love the lawnmower guys. I don't know if you can hear the lawnmower men here, but they are certainly throwing a little bit of aggravation my way. So we can use this because this is going to be a short-term sort of fib setup too. And you notice the run-up stalls out at the 61.8. What happens? Then they find support at the 23.6. You see that? And then this compression that's happening. All about keeping it within these bands. All right, so we've got lots and lots of levels. There's levels to this Best Buy. Let's go back, look at our detailed estimates page here on Zach's. They are Zach's rank number 3. Hold. Value style score of A. Growth of A. Momentum of B. Industry rank. Bottom 6%. So consumer electronics retailers, it's just not the place to be. They're going to report before the bell on, that's Thursday, right? Before the bell Thursday, so you get the rest of the trading day today to feel it out. Tomorrow, figure out what you want to do. If you want to do anything, and whether or not, you should be long into this. All right, let's keep going. Revenues. Current quarter, negative, I'm getting ahead of myself. Current quarter, 4.56. Next quarter actually looks pretty good on the revenue side, 6.21%. Interesting. I did not see that earlier. Bruno, how you doing? Current year number, 4.53. Next year, contraction. Contraction in revenues next year. So, if you're looking at this, I'd say that as Best Buy, you've got a stay of execution. Because you're looking at this quarter, and you got one more quarter until the year ends, and then next year, that is no bueno, man. I don't care how you slice it. You don't ever want to have contraction in earnings, in revenues, right? You can always fake it on the earnings side. You can do a little bit of financial engineering, which I'm sure the boys at Best Buy have certainly done. But you can't fake it on the revenue side. Now look at this. First of all, this is obviously some kind of stupidity happening right now. So just get that out of there. I don't know what that is. We'll be able to fill in the data a little better. Anywho, current quarter numbers. Next year shows contraction on the price consensus, but chart doesn't it show? This is revenue. This is revenue, B-boy. The first numbers I was looking at was revenue. Pricing consensus shows earnings. So there's no contraction on the earnings side, just on the revenue side. And now let's look at these earnings. 26.98% EPS growth for the current quarter. That's pretty darn solid. Next quarter is going to slow to 3.7. Current year numbers should be 14.12, and next year 5.37. So there is still growth, not on the sales side, on the EPS side. What's been the recent action here? This is a little bit surprising to me. Now, while you do have one analyst that has dropped their earnings estimate for jacked up their current year numbers, and two that have followed suit for next year. Let's look at the overall impact of the consensus. So here's the goofiness. Decent trend here for the current quarter, up from 64 cents to 79 cents. Next quarter, 204 down to 202. Current year, 389, 406. Next year, 414 to 428. Yes, Trevor, they certainly do. Walmart and Amazon. Don't you remember they used to call Best Buy Amazon showroom? Because you would go there, you pick out what you wanted, be like, meh, and then just shoot it over. Dr. Paul in the building, ladies and gentlemen. Dr. Paul, the good Dr. Paul. Had a patient come in, had 6 months to live, couldn't pay his bill. Dr. Paul gave him another 6 months. Hacha, hacha, hacha. Going with the elevator music theme. I think that's a Henny Youngman joke. Pretty sure that was in Goodfellas. Okay. Elevator music. I gotta be mellow. I gotta mellow out here a little bit, Paul. I can't go Tiesto all day, all the time. I'm not by the beach anymore, right? I'm not wearing Versace. I've just got my my cash rules everything around me except when other asset classes provide higher risk-adjusted yields t-shirt right now. Rock it out, man. All right, so what's going on here? Yeah, exactly. Take my wife, please. What's Best Buy telling us? Well, they're telling us that a storm is brewing. Storm is brewing. And it's coming eventually. And we just don't know, is it this quarter or is it next quarter, right? So if you were a longer-term sort of shareholder of Best Buy, you got to be starting to sweat a little bit here. If you're a short-term opportunistic capitalist like we are, you might want to get out your screwdriver. Get your screwdriver a little bit. Almost. It is almost complete. It's Florida. When I start saying Florida, like Florida, then you know. I went to a 50s style deli. Jeff, I know you'll like that. I went to a 50s style deli, and I got a Reuben with a matzo ball soup to go. They had lox for breakfast. It was incredible. All right. I don't want to dig into the options chain first. Let's look here. This revenue contraction that's bothering, it's bugging me. And yeah, Best Buy is certainly no Walmart. But I just had to have some comp on here, so that's what I picked. Revenue totals. Now, this isn't the first time that Best Buy has fought off some revenue contraction. They've experienced that. 2014, 2015, 2016, 2017. They're hanging in there. This year, 4.41. But specifically this quarter, $9.3 billion is what they're looking for, over $8.9 billion the quarter a year ago. So that's a decent comp, I think. And if you think about it, their comp, I mean, that's basically what last quarter they did. So they just need some quarter-over-quarter growth. So the quarter-over-quarter growth is basically going to be the same as the year-over-year growth number that you're going to see. And then they're still hopeful out here for Q4. Okay, there's still hopes in Q4, although that is going to decelerate a bit. So I think that deceleration in revenue might be a little bit of a drag here on Best Buy. Don't you agree? Don't you agree? How cool would it be, totally random, as an aside, we've talked about this, if periodically I could be like, hey guys, what do you think? And then I unsilence, and then like a bunch of you can chime in, or a select few can chime in. How sweet would that be? And you do see the growth. So even during those times when their back was against the wall and the revenue numbers weren't there, these bad boys still managed to eke out some EPS growth. They're going to do it again this year, but next year. Next year. Ugh. It looms as a cloud in Best Buy's future. 2019. The Deli and the Little Rascals. Kurt, I think it's your idea. I'm pretty sure it's your idea. You got some good ideas, Kurt. I'm not going to lie. All right. By the way, Dr. Paul. No, I can't do it. I'm going to go on a tangent again. The Chevy thing. I got to talk about this stupid Chevy. Ugh. I'm gonna resist. I'm going to resist. You guys know I'm a car guy. I can't. I got to focus on Best Buy right now. Valuations. Look at the forward PE. Forward 12-month PE here. And we can compare this to Walmart. Did this surprise anybody? That Best Buy is trading at such a discount to Walmart, forward 12 PE. See what I mean? This surprised me. I don't know how this song got in here. Jeff, do you mean the AMG 63S, which just set a Nürburgring time of 7:45? Don't get me started again. Okay. You're talking about your Lusso. You got to prove it first. 1349. How does that compare to the S&P 500, you might ask? I think you're going to be surprised. You should know the answer to this. $16, 18 times, almost 19 times in the market. Only 13.4 for Best Buy. So from a valuation standpoint, it ain't that bad. But you're also talking about a contraction in the revenue numbers. So let's look at this valuation history based on revenues, the price to sales, and let's see how that's been impacting Best Buy. And here you can see they traded a fraction of their sales. That is very surprising to me. That Best Buy trades at such a fraction of their price to sales. I mean, that's crazy. Deep discount there. Probably because the margins aren't fantastic, right? But still, I wouldn't have. Who'd have thunk, huh? Who'd have thunk? Let's look at the rest of their consumer electronics peers. See? For that industry, this is where you're at, right? So don't get too excited. So when you see comps to the market or individual names, you can't get super excited. You really got to dig down into the industry, okay? Because different industries are going to have different numbers here. So here it tells a little different story, doesn't it? That Best Buy actually trades at a premium to the rest of the industry. Now, who's in that industry? Well, you can see that on Zacks.com. That's right, Zacks. So you go back over here on any. Let's just do this. So if you go to just your quote overview, just a regular old quote overview page here on Zacks. Go down, and then you'll see the rest of the industry. So here you go. You got Cons, Aarons. Where is Aaron, by the way? I know it's Aaron. H. Greg, and you couldn't get HHGR? You had to get HGGGGGGGH? What, do you got a sticky G key over there at the investment bank that's taking HH Greg public? And then Soyo Group. Either way, when we say nah, that means nobody's really following these nor cares. Nah. But Best Buy, Cons, Aaron's, AA Ron's, and GameStop. So there's not. So you're comparing it to some really depressing companies here. This is shrinkage, George. I know the swimming pool's cold. GameStop, obviously, you have the issue with a lot of these things going digital. Aaron's and Cons, you can kind of rope those guys together, right? Aaron's is the same way, where it's one of those rent-to-own kind of places. So here, you could take a toaster. You could take this $100 toaster. Just pay me convenient monthly payments of $49 a month for, probably not $49 on a microwave or a toaster, but you know what I mean. And then Best Buy. So back to these valuations. So yes, all right, maybe that's okay. Now let's go back to that PE though. I know I'm flipping and flopping a little bit here. That's okay. Back to the PE, this forward PE now, comparing Best Buy to the rest of the industry. We know how it was with sales, and then the industry. And again, you're paying a premium here for Best Buy compared to those 4 Loserville stocks that it had in, or the other 3 Loserville stocks. And look, don't be offended if I call your stock a Loserville stock. It's just a 3 or a 4, and it's shrinking. Okay, I'm sorry, that's Loserville to me. Oh, what's the name of the deli I went to? Paul, I went to Lester's Diner. Lester's Diner in Sunrise, Florida. I mean, that's about as. It was great though. I liked it. I think they were Romanian. I think it was. And what else do they have? What did my girlfriend have? I can't remember. Okay. Let's go ahead and dig into this options chain before the pitchforks come out. So, they're going to be reporting Thursday morning, right? So, Friday, we can use this expiration. Get that side-by-side view out. 57s. Let's do it. Look at a 57. Bust out the handy-dandy calculator. 57 calls, 265 by 283. We're going to call it 274 all day. Put side, 246 to 275. Let's call it 260. So that's 334 at 57. You're looking at 5.85%. So almost 6% is the move they're looking for out of Best Buy. A little over a $3 holler. Let's pull this up here. So a little over $3 puts you awful close to the 200-day, doesn't it? Yeah, it does. And it puts you just over 60, kind of into no man's land over here, okay? So what do we know about this options market? Well, we know that you guys are clueless to the upside. That doesn't even make sense. There's nothing there saying that makes any sense. No. Nope. Nope. Not buying it. The downside certainly does make sense, though. Okay. So you do sort of have this contraction taking place. And then the 200-day coming into play down here. Okay. Okay. Now, how would you guys say that the market has been to stocks overall? Have they been very kind and rewarding, or has it been a little tough and harsh? My vote is it's been a little tough and harsh. My experience, we've had, it's like there's no follow through, right? So you'll get the initial move and then no love. So you spike up. No love. No follow through on anything. It just stalls out and then putts around. Oh, your girlfriend's crazy about Rubens. Well, that's good to know. You know the Reuben is named after a Polish guy in Cleveland. True story. Uh, that's your moment in history from Zach Live Trader. Have you ever had Paul? You're down here, so I know you've had to have, or she has had to have. Does she like a good a grouper Reuben? Have you ever had a grouper Reuben? Have you? Yeah, market doesn't know what it wants. It's just fickle. Just fickle. So here's what I want to do, guys. Look at that. 12,000 contracts of open interest on it. This 5250. Now we're in the December expiration because I want to give some time for some post-earnings drift to take place, okay? If you notice, I'm on the bearish side of the equation right now. There you go. Ruben. So you know the name. Kulikovsky. Ruben Kulikovsky. Although, is that in a normal L, like a real L, or is it the Polish L with the line through it? That's the real question. Because then it's not Kulikovsky. Kovsky? Whatever. Ask my mom. She'll know better. Actually, she probably won't know better. My cousins would know better. This is what I want to do. Looking at Best Buy. And yeah, I'm gonna sharpen my fangs here a little bit. And say if it gets bad, it gets worse. So let's look at a 5750 put. It's going to cost $350. That seems a little rich, doesn't it? The 5250 put you could sell for $147 and have a 203 net outlay. The difference in the strike prices is $5 minus that 203 is $297 that you can make on 203, or 146% on this trade. That just doesn't feel right, right? I feel like you should be rewarded more for that. Either way, I think that's a decent bearish debit. So a bear debit would be to go long the December 15th, 5750, 5250 put spread for a 203 net debit. Okay? Now your break even on that is 5750 minus that 203. So that's 5547 would be your break even on that. Anything below that, profit. Anything above that, loserville. Up until 5750, and then you've lost all you can lose. Dr. Paul, I'll have to think about where I had that grouper Reuben, and I'll let you know. But yeah, it's good. It was great. Grouper Reuben. I would ask my ex-girlfriend, because I know she likes it, but then she'd probably think that I was interested again, and then I can't be doing it. You can't give them hope, man. You just gotta cut it off. Just stop talking. You know, you can't even be nice, because then they think, oh, he's being nice. He must be in trouble with his girlfriend. Something's going on. Blah blah. Nah, man. Sometimes I'm just curious about Rubens, but I don't think she would see it that way. Bulls. You have to be looking at this and saying it at least 60, right? At least 60. You got to be a little bit nervous that there's pressure coming down. Pressure coming down from that. Yeah, Grouper Reuben. I'm going to figure it out. I'm going to find it. I know exactly what you're talking about, Doc. I'm saying my ex-girl, she knows, but I can't call her. I can't even text her. She get the wrong idea. Bulls, this has to be in your preliminary sites, but you got to believe that if there's a good report, it's going to keep running, right? There's a gap here, too. It's got to get in the gap. If it gets in the gap, it goes, right? That's how the Bulls have to be thinking. So you Bulls, Jeff, real easy on the eyes, real hard on the ears. She's a sweetheart. She's a wonderful girl. But that's a terrible thing to say. I think she's with somebody, Jeff. I think she is. Oh, there's an idea. Then I can get in a fight with my present girlfriend. Ugh. Bulls. Bulls, tighten it up a little bit. I know you guys think that, all things are going to be all good forever. Just tighten it up with the 57.50, 60 call spread. So Bulls, bull debit here would be long that December 15th, 57.50, 60 call spread for a 102 net debit. I know I did that without actually doing it. So going long this 57.50 call is going to cost you $292. There's the bid, there's the ask, there's the midpoint, and then selling the 60, you're going to get back 190 of that, okay? So there you go, 102. Difference in strike prices is 250. So you make 145% on this trade, okay? That's for the Bulls. For the Bulls, I'm going to be a bear on this one, guys. I hate to be the bearer of bad news. Yeah, see, Doc, you got the right idea. I think that's what it would take, though. I'm not... Look, this is what I think could happen here. A shock down and a rope-a-dope on Best Buy initially, and then maybe if the sales numbers start to trickle in and this thing could get right back up. I think that could happen. This has been a very choppy earnings season. But I'm leaning bear here because why has this happened? Why is this congestion happening? And we saw the optimism, and then now we're seeing the indifference. So it's either an exhaustion of the buying pressure, or the Bears are really starting to step in, sharpen their fangs. I can see the Bears. The Bears are a little hungry on Best Buy. They want to slay this a little bit, I think. I think they want to get some. Slayer. They're coming in. Coming in for it. Okay. So, I think the Bears are going to win here. Something I never say on Sundays. Let's look at this front week. Where my lotto's at? I know you guys are out there. Wow, it's expensive. That's way more expensive than I thought it would be. Look at how expensive these out-of-the-money options are. I mean, you got to pay 60 for the 51? Are you kidding me? Look at the implied volatility on these options. Look at these numbers. These are huge. So I know there's a handful of you out there. Well, probably a lot more than a handful, actually. Now I'm saying that. It used to be a handful, but now our numbers are deep, man. We're rolling deep. How could they compete with Trevor? They can. Giants got Super Bowls at least. Giants has Super Bowls. Bears have one Super Bowl. Think about that. One Super Bowl victory, 2 Super Bowl appearances. Terrible organization. And the management still thinks it's not them. The upper brass thinks it's not their just ineptitude. That's right, you're inept. You didn't need me to tell you you're inept. You guys know. Just look at your record. Look in the mirror. 57. I'm yelling at the Bears ownership, by the way, guys, just in case you didn't notice. I'm not yelling at anybody here. Just the Bears ownership. Look it. I think you guys should also consider selling out of the money call spreads. Okay? Pick one. Free cheese. Remember, the market was pricing in, what, $3.30? So, I mean, come on. What do you expect? Cincinnati. I mean, yeah. You might as well be here in Sunrise. I live in a suburb of a suburb. Like, let that marinate. All right, so it's got to be past 60s, right? Best 60-50. So this is basically what the options market is pricing in as a move to here. So you could sell out of the money there if you want. You can even sell this 60. I think you're going to be okay even selling the 60. So let's look at this. You could sell the 60. Look at the 60-61 call spread if you're short that for you bears out there. Man, now everybody in Cincinnati is going to want to assassinate me. I guess I can never go to Cincinnati. Check that one off the list. Oh, that's true. We laugh at Cleveland. You laugh at Cleveland. Yeah, that's... Oh, Cleveland just won a championship, though, in something. There's no basketball team in Cincinnati. 146. You know what, though, you can do in Cincinnati? OH! You could do that. Got enough championships there to make up for all sorts of sadness. If you short the $60 call, this is the front week, so this is just, the 17th. Simultaneously buy the 61, that's 33 cents, right? Amount of money you guys have at risk is 67 cents. Difference in the strike price is $1 minus at 33. So you can make almost 50% on that, right? Now you don't have to, this is going to be a little bit higher risk, right? Because you basically need the stock to stay within the options sort of range or lower. So for you more nervous types, the further out you go, the lower likelihood of Best Buy hitting that level, but the less you're going to be rewarded, okay? So like look at this. If you went, and this is a perfect, no, this isn't good. You also want to look at the midpoint of this and what's going to be realistic for, where there's actual liquidity, right? So if you're out here, you only get 14-cent net credit, 86 cents at risk, right? But what are the odds that Best Buy trades over 63.50, right? A lot lower. I think, though, if you want to be a bear and put on a debit, you should be rewarded, okay? You should be rewarded a little bit more handsomely, and I think that 33 cents on 67 cents of risk is a better way to get rewarded. So this is a bear credit. Oh, come on, bar chart. I got it in my head anyway. I don't care. I don't care, bar chart. I don't care. It's all up here. Bear credit. Short November 17th. 60-61 call spread for a 33-cent net credit. Yeah, the image is distorted. You know what? It's like the greatest. One thing I can tip my hat to, the Bears ownership, you got good marketing, right? Because you've managed to ride this Monsters of the Midway thing forever. Papa Bear Hatless is likely turning over in his grave because of the whatever this is that you claim that you're selling. Just the garbage that you're selling right now. He's got it. He can't be happy. He can't be happy. No more Monsters of the Midway. It's just terrible. Goodness. Now I'm getting depressed. Man, I can't think about the Bears. Okay. Guys, lottos, you got to be careful. These lottos are too expensive. It's too expensive. This is crazy that you got to pay this much to get out here and play. Just can't. If you're going to get aggressive buying out of the money call spread or an out of the money put spread, okay? If you really want to do it, it's just not there. It's just not there with Best Buy, okay? It's not there. Trade that pays for me. Listen to this. Bear debit. That's right. I'm going aggro, man. I'm taking out some frustration on Best Buy. I just don't think it's going to last anymore. I think it's over. I think you're done. You're done, son. They're going to have a good quarter. You're going to see on paper it's going to be a good beat, and then they're going to get punched in the back of the head. That's what I think is going to happen. So I'm not even worried what happens the first day at Best Buy. I think this thing gets slashed and burned. I don't think it's going to be a good day. I don't think it's going to be a good day for Best Buy. I don't. You guys don't have to agree with me. Of course. You never have to agree with me. What if I could have a real-time, like, agree-disagree meter and you guys could click? I wish I could have that. We got to think of these things. How do we do this? Millennial. Hefe. How do you do this? That's all I got, guys. If you're not already hooked up, getting those emails. You need to do it. Shoot me an email, livetrader@zax.com. I'll get you on the distribution list so you know when I'm doing this madness. Plus, you got to go into the chat room, which right now I think is called Bartosiak's house, because we figured out that using expletives probably wouldn't be good. I don't think that Zax would like it very much. So there's the Discord thing. We're going to get a shorter thing. Hefe, I don't remember. We'll talk in the chat. Something about a meter, like a silly meter that could go like agree or disagree. And then it could go... I love it. The funny part is, Jeff, I'm probably not that much... Yeah, like Twitter polls, but like live. Jeff, I bet you I've got like less than... I'm going to say less than 7 years on you. Unless you're a lot younger than we think you are. I don't know. When do we get last week's Good, Bad, and Ugly? When I do it. When I do it. I've been terrible. Trade that pays right here. Bear debit. Bear debit. When do we get the bed? Yeah, I have to do it. I got kind of backed up here. Why didn't I do it? I don't remember why. There was some reason. I was doing something else. That's essentially what it came down to. I was doing the live video instead of the good, bad, the bad, and the ugly. I think that's what happens. I've been trying to cram in extra live videos, and then so it's taking away from my older videos, and then I still have to do another video. Maybe I should just do it now. I don't know, because I'm already, I'm talking a lot. I have another video. I do my the Dave's Daily Dive today too, so I've got a lot of videos to do. It's not even 3 o'clock here though, so we'll see. I got time. I got plenty of time. So thank you all for coming out. Emra, welcome to your first show. Congrats, you made it. I think this is your first show. It's the first time I've seen you here. So welcome to the club. Oh, what's up with JD? Man, you guys always get me. That's right. What's up with JD? Oh my God, what is up with JD? What is this? What is this? Sorcery. My goodness. Darn whipsawing, man. It's whipsaw. Whipshaw. Woof. Buy the dip. I don't know. I don't know what's happening here. My official answer, I have no idea what's happening. I have to investigate further. I don't know. There is a fib here, and it looks like the algos are buying the fib a little bit. So that's a plus. That's a positive. The 61.8 fib. I came in and bought it a little bit. But aside from that, I don't have anything else intelligent to offer up, so I'm going to do some homework on it. And we'll talk. Yeah, I don't know. We'll see. We shall see, my friends. All right, so I'm going to do some more homework on JD. Maybe I'll get you a good, the bad, and ugly, because I do owe you guys. I know I owe you one. I think I might be able to do it today. We'll see. And then that's it. Then tomorrow, applied materials, which will be good. That'll be great. Fantastico. Yeah, Walmart's also going to report here when Best Buy does, I think, right? Same morning. So I think I would be, if I had to be bullish one and bearish the other, I'd be bullish Walmart and bearish on Best Buy. All right. So there you go, guys. I will be in the chat eventually. I don't know when, but I will eventually be there. And we'll go from there. So I'm going to try and learn what's really happening with this JD, and we'll go from there. All right? So thank you so much for hanging out with me here on Zach's Live Trader. I will see you all in a few. Have a good one.